Between China and the Korean peninsula, there are three majestic natural wonders: the mighty Yalu River, the not-so-mighty Tumen River, and a live volcano between them. That volcano is one of the tallest mountains and perhaps the holiest in Northeast Asia. It's massive, it's beautiful, it's mystical, it's controversial. It literally forms the border between North Korea and China. It has a huge lake at the summit, which happens to be the deepest lake in China and North Korea. And I just really want to go check it out. But this trip was trickier than it looked, because you see, to see this mountain at its most magnificent, there's only one possible time to climb it: November. 1 month too early, the snow hasn't arrived, and the mountain looks like this: flat, greenish gray, boring, and crowded. 1 month too late, the snow becomes overwhelming. The lake freezes, gets buried under ice and snow, and looks like this: a giant white car park. Still impressive, but not what I came for. Only in November is it cold enough to turn the entire mountain white and still warm enough for the lake to remain ice-free. To ascend safely, the weather has to be perfect. Not good, not decent. Perfect. The timing for this project is therefore painfully precise. I don't have a season. I don't even have a month. I have a narrow window. So I packed my bag, left home, followed the Yalu River, and reached the foothills of the Holy Mountain on November 5th. Up until that point, the weather was phenomenal. Clear skies, sunshine, it barely felt like winter at all. Honestly, I started to think this whole thing might be easy. That illusion lasted right up until the moment I arrived. As soon as I reached the foothills, everything changed. This is actually why people are leaving Northeast China, Manchuria, including the Manchus themselves. I mean, even the Manchus left Manchuria because this weather is too fucking bad, unpredictable. Yesterday it was 15 degrees Celsius, and tomorrow is gonna be -10. And this rain will turn into snow in less than 12 hours. Told you. Every day at around 7 a.m., a forecast is released. It tells you one thing only: whether the mountain is open. So that became the first thing I did every single morning. The first day of waiting was fine. I made myself a big dinner, relaxed, stayed optimistic. The second day of waiting was still okay. I went to a nearby county and filmed Kim Il-sung's elementary school. I told myself this was productive. The third day was also okay. I walked around the town and learned something new about a local delicacy. So both the local Chinese and the North Koreans have developed this very distinct taste for the frogs, the forest frogs. People eat those frogs during the winter time when they taste the best. But during the 1990s, in North Korea, there was a big famine. People were so hungry, the North Koreans hunted those frogs into extinction. But here in China, there's still some. But most of the frogs I just showed you were raised in farms. By the fourth day, something started to shift. It snowed more, I walked more, bought groceries, cooked again, but the optimism was fading. I'm going to try to ascend to the Heaven Lake today. I've been trying for 4 days actually to get the shot I want. Losing patience. If it snows here, there's a blizzard up there. The fifth day felt the same, except this time I didn't even have the patience to cook. So instead I went to a restaurant. So when I'm not cooking, I eat at here. It's pretty decent and the price is very reasonable. I ate, I drank. Thankfully, the food was excellent. By the sixth day and then the seventh, the snow just kept coming, and that restaurant became the only thing standing between me and complete psychological collapse. The days were short, the nights were long, the mountain never showed itself. All signs suggested that I was losing my mind. And at some point, I realized I had never related more to Jack Nicholson from The Shining. All work and no holy mountain makes me a very dull boy. I was done, out of ideas, out of patience, out of hope. And then, the 8th day arrived, with good news.
But the bad days never last forever. Look at this. Today is a beautiful day and they finally opened this region for visitors. I swear to God, I'm gonna film the shit out of this place.
This volcano at the crossroads of Manchuria and the Korean Peninsula has been erupting on and off for around 2 million years. But the eruption in 946 was exceptionally powerful.
So after the eruption, a gigantic mountain collapsed into an enormous caldera. The Chinese call this mountain changbai shan, while the Koreans call it paektu san. Changbai shan means perpetually white mountain in Chinese, and paektu san means white head mountain in Korean. So basically the same thing. And I think it's pretty obvious why they name it that way. Look at this place. The highest mountain in China's northeast and the Korean Peninsula. Gray down there, white up here. Perpetually white mountain, whitehead mountain, huh? Yeah, tell me about it. It's freezing cold up here, by the way. Minus 20 something, close to minus 30 degrees Celsius, and way colder than the North Pole. I've got myself 99% covered, but still I find the weather here very, very unforgiving. Oh God. Whew. I can barely feel my feet. And this is just the beginning. A little worried about the rest of the day. Been waiting way too long for this moment. Not giving up easy. Look at all this. Look at that tower. Imagine how horrible the snowstorm must be up here. Insane. Rock solid. So over the years, the caldera began to collect a vast amount of water, and a lake was formed. It is known as the Heaven Lake. And here it is. Absolutely breathtaking. That is North Korea. And within 1 month, this lake will freeze. Unlike every other volcano, this mountain is also imbued with physical qualities. The rich volcanic soil gives birth to so many species that cannot be found anywhere else, including the mystical and magical herb, ginseng, that had cured and killed countless people throughout history. Back then, people didn't see mountains like this very often, and for most, this was the only legit mountain they knew. So very quickly, this place has become a secret mountain to the surrounding communities. Both the Manchus and the Koreans considered this place as their ancestral land. This place is said to be the birthplace of the Korean civilization, and it is the national symbol for both the North and South Korea, and is mentioned in both national anthems. Oh, so cold. For Koreans, paektu is the symbol of national unity, Hannala, one nation. And the Manchu government also considered this place as their ancestral land and a symbol of their imperial power. And in a span of 123 years, 4 Manchu emperors came here 5 times, including some of the most influential rulers of China, such as Emperor Kangxi, Emperor Yongzheng, and Qianlong. The Manchus went so far, they actually sealed this region for hundreds of years, making sure no one but the royals could visit this place. In a nutshell, this holy mountain, changbai or paektu, is the definition of legitimacy and has been the subject of territorial disputes for centuries, which continue until today.
哇哦！
好，谢谢。
你先走。
你结婚了啊？结婚了，
谢谢
恭喜恭喜！
After the founding of North Korea and China in 1948 and 1949, the border became a major point of friction. Both sides wanted the mountain and lake for themselves, as they represent a level of political and spiritual legitimacy that they both desperately needed. After years of intense negotiation and multiple treaties, the 1,334-kilometer border was finally fixed in 1964.
As a result of the treaties, North Korea gained about 280 square kilometers of the mountain range, the highest peak, and exactly 54.5% of the Heaven Lake. Of course, the South Korean government does not recognize any of these treaties. So if the Koreas are unified one day, this region will become one of the most contested territories on Earth. Obviously, most people these days can only climb the mountain on the Chinese side, but maybe one day I can go and see this mountain from the other side. Hopefully in my lifetime. I really look forward to that.
I think I'm done here. Can't feel my legs. By the way, this is actually a live volcano, and it erupts every 100 years. The last eruption was in 1903, so yeah, better get going. Oh. Shit. Look at that. Beautiful. And quiet. It seems I'm the only one in this mountain, which is a little unsettling because there are actually tigers and bears. Local shamans. That's what the shamans do in these mountains. Yeah, it is still alive. Yeah, shamanism is still alive here in China, as well as in Mongolia, and of course in Korea too. It's a big deal. So I'm now very surprised to meet those ladies back there. I wish them well. And now I should move on.
So for the North Koreans, there's actually something more to it. They regard this mountain as the secret mountain of the revolution because Kim Il-sung and his small army fought the Japanese in the dense wood right here in this mountain. And the North Korean government claims Kim Jong-il was born here.
That rock-looking thing, they are the combination of super old lava and volcanic ashes and volcanic soil. After thousands of years of accumulation, and that happened. I need a lot of alcohol after I get back. It's my last day. It's time to celebrate.
If you're still watching and are curious about Kim Il-sung's elementary and middle schools in China, check out this video. If you'd like to work with me on future projects, take a look at this one. And if you're still here and want to support the channel, the pinned comment down below has the details. Thank you so much for watching. Jingwu out.